But what was it like returning to Raccoon City after so many films?
It was amazing. I really loved that the story was coming full circle and coming back to Raccoon City, coming back to the Hive. It was exciting to, be able to see these sets again, to be able to take the audience back to where we started. I think it's wonderful, especially when it's the final chapter and there's a lot of questions that people have had throughout the series that, they need answered. A lot of questions that my character had about herself that she needs answered. So it was nice to go back to where it all began.
Awesome. Now, what have you folks done to really up the ante with this movie?
Well, I mean, definitely I feel like the monsters are like crazier than I've ever seen, and they're all like the newest monsters from the newest Resident Evil games, and the sets were really scary and really just very twisted. And I mean, the action sequences are just off the hook. I mean, they're some of the longest fight sequences I've ever done, with more fight moves than I've ever done. I mean, like one sequence had almost 300 moves in it, so it's pretty insane. But I think the story is really compelling as well. I think there's something very like emotional too for Alice, like being able to really, find out who she is for once and for all, and to see her history, which is pretty crazy. It's very twisted.
Awesome. Now, why is now a good time to say goodbye to Alice?
Well, we were supposed to say goodbye a year ago, but then I got pregnant, so we had to push the movie a year. But I think once we did the second Resident Evil, we thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to like do a trilogy? Because, Paul always had like a story in his head. And then when the studio asked for a fourth one, and thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool like to do a second trilogy? But never thinking we actually would.
Right.
But like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Because he always had like a story in his head. So I think it makes sense, It's the second trilogy, 6 movies. It's like even. Looks great in a box set.
Makes sense to me. Now, Resident Evil is probably one of the most successful movie franchises of a video game franchise. Why do you think? What's the secret with that?
I think we've never, and when I say we, my husband Paul, he's never allowed any pressure, outside pressure, to dictate when he was going to write a new script. We've always taken like a 2-3 year break between films. I feel like it was a chance to refuel, a chance to do other things. And when the inspiration hit to write a new script, it was very organic and very natural. And because we really love this franchise, and it's been something, it brought us together, had a child through it. I mean, it's meaningful for us. So the last thing we wanted was for it to become kind of this like machine, that just like back to the grind. All right, make another one. No, it was like always exciting, and the story always went somewhere new, and every film has its own look. And I think that comes from, taking a break and coming back to something. And I think people can feel that passion for it, that, we didn't just do it just to like cash in. It was something that was done over a period of time and with a lot of love.